The audience can pick it up. I've never said anything on camera about the dynamic that exists here. It's people who are viewing this content, who are consuming this content.
A lot of YouTubers speak to the fact that they generally stay away from reading comments in their videos because despite the high number of love and appreciation shown by viewers, it's mostly the negative comments that get to them the most. And that seems to be the case with my friend and co-host on the podcast, Edwin, who had some words to say about the style in which me and Sipo tend to gang up on him and take sides on matters, leaving him alone.
Edwin, it has been said that on this platform, ever since we started with you, we've been having a lot of fun. All of us together.
100%.
You know,
Yes.
I've been receiving feedback from people, and some of them, have been seriously engaging the content and commenting on what we've been talking about. There's been a perspective out there that says me and Sipo are teaming up against you.
We're gang up on
we've
Edwin.
made you the outlet, the excuse for bigotry and our views to have free expression. What do you think of that?
That's actually true.
What?
The audience can pick it up. I've never said anything on camera about the dynamic that exists here.
And while I may disagree with Edwin's view about what me and Sipo are up to, fair enough, there's been some audience members confirming the same, like this lady over here.
Okay. Hear me out and don't take this too personal or as if I'm attacking you. Ne? I feel like you guys edit just for versatility. You can tell what you guys are not. You are anti-LGBT. You have your strong views. Your co-host has strong views. Edwin is just there. And I feel like most of the time, you guys are tag team. And then he's just on the out. It doesn't matter what he says. You guys don't even try to understand him. You just ridicule him. And that's how I feel.
And so this situation playing out like this with Edwin has been especially interesting to watch because we recently had Owamie on the podcast and she had some advice to give regarding viewers who may be watching us in order to learn our dynamics and then turn us against each other in the comment section.
They literally used information that was on YouTube against us. They knew what we hate. They knew what we love. They knew our movements, just as much as not everything, but they knew enough.
Yeah.
You understand? To can even turn us against each other, So there's also like comments. Mostly when it's two people, there'll be comments like, oh, your husband is so talkative. Like he overspeaks. He over he talks over you or he this and that. And you don't see those things affecting you until a day that you guys maybe have a quarrel. And then she's gonna start saying, you speak over me.
Actually,
It's not from her. It's from the comments that she was in. YouTube is very, as much as it's positive,
Sure.
it can be very toxic.
Fortunately, the rest of the voice note reveals that the lady is innocently giving her feedback on the dynamics that she's watching playing out on the podcast. And knowing her personally, I'm confident that there's no malicious intention from her. In fact, she happens to be a very big fan of the podcast who is rigorously engaging the content, as we wish other viewers will too. However, while this episode of the podcast dealt with biases and Edwin ventured to teaching us about how to recognize our biases and our tendencies to discriminate against the LGBTQ community, I've also observed that straight women have a tendency to take the side of the LGBTQ community way too much, and as a result, they end up becoming a gang that stands against any dissenting or disagreeing view about the community. And this is soon followed by populist and somewhat manipulative advice that says we should be at least affirming and embracing of the LGBTQ lifestyle, despite Sipo and I being perfectly straight dudes.
Look, I'm straight and I'm not part of the LGBT, but they're already ridiculed anyway. We don't need more people to make it like that. And if you're going to add someone like or who's part of that to your table, at least let it look like you embrace him, not that you're just doing it for the sake of let's just,
And this is where I disagree because as a Christian, advice that says I should embrace or affirm the LGBTQ lifestyle actually runs in direct opposition of my beliefs in God and the belief that romantic and sexual relations are exclusively between a man and a woman. And let's say you do affirm homosexuality. What follows thereafter is the sad realization that 1, the LGBTQ community neither values nor respects the free thought of others. And 2, you realize that affirming is a one-way street and that homosexual people will never regard you as a free-thinking person unless your thoughts resonate with their position.
Sipo, pick this up, ne?
Yeah.
This was spoken by dude Motakamjali who was here when we were talking about marriage. in one of the earlier episodes. He said that activists or, feminists, they like to say that the woman has a right to choose and to make up her mind.
Yeah.
Until the woman says that I choose to be a wife and I choose to subject myself to a man, and let him have the leading role. Then the people who said you have that freedom, they start to now say, no, you're actually using your freedom to pick the wrong things, So here we are now. Sipho is a free individual who is exercising his mind.
Right.
Look at how now, because the direction which he's exercising his mind is not favorable towards you, you find it better to say Sipho is just being biased towards my view, that he's not exercising his own mind.
He is. I mean, it's
Do you see what I mean?
But don't you
It's
think the
not
topics
me.
that we always speak about, me and him always usually like agree to it because, as I said, we have similar upbringings. So all the talk.
Guys,
Wait,
let's
listen
not
to
use
this.
like upbringing as an. You don't have similar upbringing. You also don't have similar experiences.
Isn't this called invalidating?
Classic example. I think when I was wearing the pink top, we were discussing that lady. He agreed with you. He just simply agreed with you.
That's what the lady even said in the group, that Sipho just agrees
he
with
just
me.
agreed with you.
But then now I want to ask Uti, the facts that he's talking about. What if that's how I feel? Do I
Yes.
necessarily need to take the opposite side against him?
Not
But it's-
necessarily, but I mean, I would say have a level of neutrality, I
Yeah.
guess, because there's two opposing ideas here.
Yes.
And then when you just go straight, it's not to say you don't even say, Guti, you know what, I don't know much on that subject. I would
Yeah.
rather go do research. However, I find it to be an interesting topic. You just go straight for the killing.
So Sipho's not using his mind?
I don't know. You just said that. You said that.
that is
Sipho, they say you just go straight. You're not going to what you actually believe. Is that true about you?
that's false because that's
Okay.
exactly what I believe.
If you like this episode and you want to watch the episode with Owamie, click here. If you want to watch the full episode where we had this discussion, click here.